I've spent all summer mourning my mother, dredging up all the old grief and going back and forth between holding on to my anger that's been my constant companion all these years and trying to let it go. The summer heat has let me cook in my feelings as I sit in Albright Grove staring at my mother's grave. Now that I'm finally coming to terms with how I feel, I realize the anger will never be gone, but I won't let it eat at me anymore. But I look at the empty space beside my mother's grave and know that I have more grieving to do. Not for her, but for Aunt Beatty. Aunt Beatty's body sat in the morgue for as long as legally allowed, and then to the mortician as long as they could as well, to give Uncle Dale and I time to find and communicate the news to my cousin, Cora. Cora's been on the other side of the world on mission work and damn near impossible to get a hold of, but we finally did. She should be here soon, and we can finally lay Aunt Beatty to rest. It's memories of living with her and Cora after we lost Mom that I think of now. Cora and I went back and forth between being best friends and hating each other. We had distinct differences of opinions when it came to some of our core beliefs, and it got in our way a lot. Same with Aunt Beatty. They both tried to keep me on the path of Christ, and with Mom gone and me hating the coven, I did lean into Christianity, but only the dark aspects of it. For weeks after my mother was gone, I murdered several people who I thought deserved hell, as I was prepping myself for that descent as well. But it was Aunt Beatty and Cora who saved me from that fate. Aunt Beatty was completely forgiving and acted like none of it happened, or at least none of it mattered. But Cora wasn't. Cora, in her righteousness, still wanted to turn me in. The only thing that saved me was the lack of evidence. After that, we stayed at odds. I wonder how she feels about me now. I guess we'll see. Until then, I'm doing what I've always done. Open the shop, and after the morning rush, enjoy the quiet. Sam still isn't back yet. I'm starting to wonder if she is ever coming back, or if she's finally found a more suitable circle for her. But if that was the case, she would have told us, I think. Who knows with that girl anymore, but I try not to think about it too much. The day drags on until the sun sets over the Garrison Bridge. I prepare to close shop. The first thing I always do is lock up. At the back door, I turn the hallway light off and nearly jump out of my skin. The glare from the lights now gone, I clearly see a woman standing outside my back door. It takes me a second to recover from the fear, and I realize who it is. Betty, what the hell? Couldn't you just knock at the front door?
Where's the fun in that?
She smiles as she steps into the store, but that smile means trouble for me. Her frontier-style dress is still dirty, just like every time I've seen her, but this time she's wearing a bonnet that lost its strings a long time ago, and locks of her hair trickle out from beneath, framing that mischievous smile. Betty thrives on chaos, though she and her pet Razorback are supposed to be another boogeyman to scare children into being good. Betty is an equal opportunist when it comes to punishing the wicked. And I'm finding that it doesn't take much to get on her radar. I've kept my distance from her because I really don't want to have to go face to face with her. As she passes by me to come into the store, she stops, and I feel it. A thrum of energy inside me that almost moves me forward to her, like we're two magnets passing by too close and are attracted to each other. I almost reach out to touch her. She locks eyes with me and widens that smile even more, but then keeps walking. If she wants to ignore it, then I will too. I don't need any more weird magic in my life right now. I follow her to the front of the store, but neither of us sit down. I get behind the front counter and begin the register tally for the day. Betty stares out the window, her hands busy playing with her dress. Is she nervous about something? I was just locking up, so can we make this quick? She turns to look at me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I too dirty for your store?
You're probably cleaner than half the ones that come in, but I'm tired and have a feeling you have no good news for me. Where's your beloved pet? Isn't he always with you?
I left him to play with your pet. They're both nearby, in that hole you have by your basement.
Her Razorback wanted to play with Mr. Giggles? I'm going to assume she means it and that they're not down there tearing each other apart. I mean, they're both supernatural creatures. It could be just like Giggles and Domino romping about. And I would know if something happened to him. I'm trusting Betty's love for her own pet that she's not endangering them both. Then out with it, please. I'm ready to go to bed.
We could easily take this back to your apartment, then.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're flirting.
Even a woman like me gets lonely from time to time.
Part of me thinks you really do just want the romp. Part of me thinks you want to kill me in my sleep.
Can't it be both?
Don't make me regret trusting you.
None of us really have a choice on that matter, now do we?
Is that why you're here? The Becketts or Gale and Marcus piss you off?
I wish it was something as simple as that. No, I came to see if my fears were founded. The moment I walked through that door, I had my answer.
And what answer would that be? In a moment, Betty moved from in front of the window to mere inches from my face. I fought not to react, not to give her the satisfaction of surprising me another time, but I'm realizing how little I know about Betty's power. Her lips hover dangerously close to mine when she speaks.
Don't you hear it? Don't you feel it?
The thrum of energy between us returns, and I fight tooth and nail not to touch her. Her face and arms tremble with the urge as well. An onlooker might mistake this for sexual tension, but it's not that. Or at least it's much more than that. It's not about the sex, it's about wanting to touch as much of her body with mine as possible. I'd never felt this way before about her. Then again, I never got this close to her. But I doubt it really has anything to do with her, and more to do with what's inside both of us now. Is this what happens to all of us in the healing circle if we get too close to each other? Betty steps back as if my words broke whatever thread was holding us so close together. She gathers herself a bit before answering.
Not quite. It happened with Gale and Marcus, but I tested your Raws first.
She is not my Raws. Betty waves her hand flippantly.
The point is, you're the first human of the circle to react this strongly to me. I suspect you'll get the same reaction near Marcus and Gale.
That makes sense with you three, since you are the more powerful ones out of the circle. But why me?
Just because we are other, not human anymore, or ever, in Gale's case, doesn't mean we are the most powerful. But I think because you were the conduit that allowed us all to drink her down, you took in the largest piece of her. Then Gale, Marcus, and I followed in the next largest pieces of her. The rest of the practitioners only carry slivers.
That just gives me yet another reason to stay away from the Becketts.
Ignore those witches if you want, but it's really me and your favorite couple you need to stay away from.
I move from behind the counter and sit at a table. This is more shit than I wanted right now. Wait, are Marcus and Gale separating?
You know those two. What do you think?
Probably as little as possible. But it would be interesting to know exactly what happens when they do touch.
I'm not as worried about those two, but if the four of us were to come together and touch, I think that could be disastrous.
So no playdates for all of us.
I know. Why am I even coming to you with this since we rarely see each other?
It was a thought. She steps closer to me again, and there is a rawness on her face that I haven't seen before. A haunting glare in her eyes that's less about scaring me and more about her own frights.
There are only 2 oaths that keep me in this world now, and my oath to keep that bitch buried and gone is one of them. I will not let her loose again just because I didn't speak up.
She backs off and turns back to the window. Well, I appreciate you making the journey here to warn me. I won't have direct contact with those two unless I absolutely have to. She nods her head while still looking out the window.
It may also please you to know they're not here right now anyway. They're keeping an eye on your Sam.
I don't correct her on the your Sam bit. That one I'll own. They followed her as she left?
Roz insisted. It wasn't like they had much better to do right now anyways.
I smile at the thought of Marcus and Gale watching Sam from afar. I wonder if at this further distance, wherever she's led them, I could summon just Gale's attention for us to speak over the wind for updates. But I shoot that idea down. If Sam wanted me to know what she was doing, she'd tell me. It's Roz's job to be the snooper. Betty wipes her hands on her dress and unlocks the front door. Before she opens it, she turns to me.
I wasn't teasing. Well, I wasn't only teasing about going to your apartment with you. I wouldn't mind sitting with you on those lonelier nights just to have company.
I suspect you find company like that the same way I do, and keep them for just as short of time. Betty smiles at that and looks past me, as if remembering a lover from another time.
Oh, I don't know. A few were worth keeping more than a night.
If you want someone to tell your stories to, I'm more than happy to listen. Anything outside of that, though, I'm not worth more than a night. Betty grabs the edge of her bonnet and tugs it down further.
You're so full of shit, Jade. But I'll take that as an open invitation. Have a good evening.
The front door startles me as it slams. The bell's still ringing. Damn, that woman is fast. I hear a low moan from beneath the store. I check on Mr. Giggles to make sure he's all right. Physically, he's fine, but he's heartbroken that Rawhead had to leave. Those same terrible feelings I felt at the beginning of the summer are back. That feeling of angst and dread that I know the buried bitch laid on me. The ones I fought so hard to shove down. I guess coming that close to another piece of her renewed their strength. No worries, I know how to swallow it, but I would rather not keep fighting that fight if I don't have to. When Betty comes for another visit, I'll just keep my distance. I really would like to hear the story she has to tell. Maybe I'll get her to tell me about her power, and not be blindsided when she decides to use it. As I make my way home, I realize I have only 2 things to look forward to: burying my aunt and being visited by Betty. I really need a hobby. This episode of It's All in the Cards podcast was written by Ashley McAnelly, featuring the voice talents of Abbey Konzen and Maddie Girouard. Theme music composed by ThaArsonist and performed by Scott Thomas. Produced by Scott Thomas. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon for exclusive bonus content, and on Instagram and Facebook at It's All in the Cards podcast. Thanks for listening.